Hello everyone, Dr. James Marcum with another biblical prescription for life. So far this year, we've been focusing a lot on weight management, and I think that's very important because this is going to be a health problem in the future. So hopefully those tips have helped and empowered us to do a little bit better. But today, topic's going to be a little bit different. And I have a couple questions for you. And these are these questions. Do you need a microbot? Will you need a microbot? And finally, what is a microbot? We're going to be talking about that today. But before we do that, a biblical prescription for Daniel 12 verse 4. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and sealed the book, that's the Bible, until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. So knowledge shall increase. That's what I want to focus on today. I want us to be aware of lots of things that's going on. We need to be aware of that, but we need to focus on the big picture. And that's what we try to do here in health, is focus on the big picture. Christ is the key to healing. We need to focus on that, but need to know what's going on out there. So I want to talk a little bit today about a nanobot or a microbot, or basically a small robot. Remember, micro means small. Nano is even smaller. And just to give you a feel for that, what's been going on in this technology, years ago in 1996 or so, there was a movie called The Fantastic Voyage. And this was science fiction about a group of people that got inside the blood cells in a vehicle and were driving around the body doing great things. Well, this was sort of science fiction back then, and it's been moving forward in different types of science fiction, but now it's becoming a reality. So I think we can see that knowledge is increasing. This prediction or prophecy is being fulfilled. Knowledge is being fulfilled in front of our very eyes. If we look back in my lifetime, I can remember when we had rotary phones. I can remember when we used to have radio that was different than it is now, that things are just moving and the technology is increasing so rapidly. So knowledge is increasing, and that's happening in the medical world as well. And I wanted to talk to you about these small robots, or called nanobots. So it's very, very small. And just to give you a picture of how small it is, a nanobot is about 10 times smaller than a red blood cell. Now, the white blood cells are bigger than the red blood cells, so it's very, very small. And yet we are now having the technology to have these small robots go throughout the body and accomplish things, both deliver therapy and also to treat. This is amazing. Just to give you a feeling of how small it is, here is a small glass that I got. It's about 1.5 centimeters. So if you said, well, how many nanobots could go across that? Well, about 15 billion nanometers. So it's very, very small. Well, we're not going to go into every detail about that today, but I want to let you know that medical knowledge is increasing in our lifetime very, very quickly. What are the potential uses of this technology? Well, one of the things they're going to use it for is drug delivery, to deliver a medication in the body. Remember, when you swallow a pill, there's lots of barriers. It has to go to the stomach. The stomach breaks it down with hydrochloric acid, has to go into the small intestine, and then it moves into the bloodstream. So the small intestine is another barrier. Then it goes to the liver and it gets worked on and detoxified in the liver. Then it goes out into the bloodstream. In the bloodstream, it's another barrier because you have proteins and enzymes that break it down. And finally, it gets to the organ that it's supposed to help. During this process, there can be side effects. There can be some collateral things that happen. Even in the brain, there's yet another barrier called the blood-brain barrier before a therapeutic dose of medication can get in. So there's lots of barriers. So these nanobots These small robots are now going to be used in the future to deliver medicine to the exact place. It doesn't have to be given these larger doses, which are broken down and can cause toxicity or side effects in other organs. Another exciting use of this nanotechnology, or using these nanobots, these small, tiny little robots, is in cancer. And they're using it to put the chemotherapy in this nanobot. And sometimes they have RNA strands that are attracted to cancer, and it gets to the specific cancer cell. Then it delivers the chemotherapy or the medication without as many side effects or toxicities. Because as you know, chemotherapy, it can kill the cancer cells, but it can do a lot of other damage as well. And they have to monitor for side effects, especially the bone marrow, which becomes depressed, and the platelets go down and the white blood cell count goes down. So chemotherapy, they're going to use this someday to target specific cells. Another application of this new technology that's been developing faster now than ever is in diagnosing. They're using it to collect imaging, to get data, because remember, we have to have good data to make good decisions. In fact, at MIT, they've created a nanobot rover cell that's able to be put into the bloodstream, get into the brain, the specific molecular brain cells, and transmit data about what the brain's doing. That's being done at MIT now. And in other places, they're experimenting with cancer delivery systems. They're also theorizing that they can use these nanobots to do minimally invasive surgery, like removing foreign objects or maybe helping improve clots. They also talk about using it as sensors, so they can sense things like the pH, or when you're getting sick, maybe the blood sugar, maybe how we're doing inside the body. So they're finding many different uses for this nanobot, these small robots in the body, and it's becoming real now. It's not theoretic, it's theoretical, but the theoretical is now moving towards application. And I just wanted you to sort of be aware of what's going on. You might ask, well, how are they powering it? Well, they use magnetic fields. They're experimenting with light and sugar. Sometimes they tag along with other biodegradable substances. It's very unique how they're moving it. Around it's usually some oil or biodegradable substance, so these small substances can move in and out of where they need to go. And then, of course, inside is where they put what they're trying to deliver, the therapy. And that might be a drug or a viral capsid that codes for something, some type of RNA. So it's very, very complex, but the theoretical is now moving towards the real. So when they talked about this in 1966, this fantastic voyage, this is now coming into real life now. So I wanted you to be aware of what's going on. So we need to see everything that's going on out there. Now, if you're the type that want to even know more and more, in 2024 in Washington, D.C., they're going to have the large Nanobot conference in Washington, D.C. You can go on the website and just put Nanobot conference, and you can sign up and join if you want to learn more. Now, I did pull this article for those that might be interested in reading. This was a good review article, and it was published in the Journal of Hematology and Oncology in 2023, and it just talks about advances of medical nanobots for future cancer treatments. And they had a really good diagram here that they used, and it talks about some of the theory behind it, what it does, the different things that we can do, and we talked about this. We talked about the drug delivery, the cancer. We didn't mention as much as the gene therapy, but they're experimenting in that, how to actually use precision treatment on all of these things, and they even give a model of what it might look like. A propulsion system, the sensors, data storage, transmission, all sorts of interesting things. But now it's becoming more than just pure theory. Now we're trying to take these theories and apply them. But we need to know this is going on. But what I really wanted to focus on is this verse and how knowledge shall increase. So we know as we move forward through history, as we read the text, that prophecy is being fulfilled, knowledge is being increased on every area, including modern medicine. And as you can see, this might help many people if they can work this out so we can deliver drugs and chemo and different therapeutics and without toxicities. But this is still a work in progress, but now it's more advanced than it used to be. I just wanted you to be aware of that today. Wow. Lots going on in the world we live in. I'm going to try to bring you updates and give you a general overview of some of the technology that's moving forward, how it might be applied, and how it affects you. So, do you need a microbot? I hope not. Will you need a microbot in the future? Maybe. But what is a microbot or nanobot? Now you know. But you're also going to focus on the big picture of knowledge increasing. And we need to use that to sort of know the times we're living in so we can focus on the key to health, and that's Christ, the eternal healer. So please share this with your friends and neighbors. If you want to go to this conference in DC this year, it's 2024, you can certainly go to that. If you want to check out this article, it gives you even more information. But I just wanted to give you the basic to let you know it's out there and keep us all focused on what's most important. So I hope to be back soon with yet another biblical prescription for life.